This particular project was a spiral, and it was a complete sort of helix which has to wrap around a steel cage. We carved one section, a 360 section, which you can see his hand and the bucket onto his head, in polystyrene. We took a mould of the area from the poly, and then we created 4 sections of that in fiberglass. And with a bit of luck and a lot of mathematics, we managed to get it all together, and it had to work out. And there's no way of knowing whether the helix actually worked and went together until we actually had 2 out and tried them up and offered them up together. The client wanted this sort of frame, this middle area, which is like a mesh wire, so people can actually see through it. And there was an internal sculpture to be built on the middle section, made from millions of car parts. And the idea was the spiral was to spin around clockwise, and the sculpture on the middle to spin anti-clockwise. We're actually building the whole sculpture outside because it was too big to build inside. Now the internal of the sculpture had to be hundreds of car parts put together in a nice format, so when it spun round it gave a nice sort of spiral feel to the whole sculpture. It took a long time to do, just as long as the spiral itself. We actually made an A-frame for the spiral to sit on once it was all together, so someone could get in the middle of it and walk around like a mouse, while we sprayed the outside as a continuous loop. At the bottom of the frame we also made a cage, so when it was in transportation it could be lowered down, transported to Germany nice and safe, and when it got there we could stand it up by the frame itself and not the sculpture. Fantastic job it was, and here it is all loaded up ready to be transported to Germany. Really love this particular work, and it also looked fantastic in the exhibition.